Hey everyone, it's been quite some time since our last development diary. I do apologize for the relative silence. Going forward, we're going to start doing these development diaries again more often, maybe once or twice a month. If you do want more frequent updates than that, you can join our community server on Discord, which is linked below. We also have a Patreon, which you can sign up to and gain access to the game right now. Before we get into the development diary, I would like to announce that the game was pushed back again, but this time it was just 2 weeks, making the new release date June 16th. This was done after our team had some severe technical issues using Unity's plastic plugin, which slowed our progress down throughout the entire month of March. We're going to use these additional 2 weeks just for some extra bug fixing to make sure that the game is polished for release. Now we can get into the changes, and there are a lot of them. Stay around until the end of the video because I'll be showing off a big surprise then. First, we are working on a brand new main menu with brand new music. Not everything is hooked up yet, but over the next 2 months, we'll be filling in all of these buttons. But I'll let our visual developer, Sebastian, talk about those plans in the next development diary. For now, let's just head over to Custom Match and see the new changes. You can already see that we've changed the faction selection screen so that the animals are standing on a globe instead of rock pillars, and we've updated the look of the Russian bear, as well as the French rooster. The most exciting part of the battle customization screen is that we've gone from rosters of about 5 to 6 units per faction to about 20 units per faction. Each roster is now just about complete, full of infantry, cavalry, and artillery. The only thing that's missing is militia. Over the next few weeks, we're going to work on getting the Ottoman Empire added next. You may also notice that over here, the armory was updated. We're no longer squeezing in tiny rifle images, now you can just see an image of the action of the weapon you're buying. Equipping is made easy. You can just hold left click and drag to automatically equip your troops. You'll also notice that at the top of the screen, your animal and flag are now displayed, so you can tell what you're playing as and what your opponent is playing as. We've also moved a lot of the match options onto the right here, so you can toggle the point amount, max army size, which we've increased to 20, turn limit, kills to win so that the matches don't go on until the very last man, and a new game speed option. You can select between balanced, cinematic, and instant. Balanced is the default speed, which we've shown off in the past. Instant skips all of the animations for faster matches, and cinematic is a special option that we'll be talking more about in a future diary. Players are also now able to select a separate settings button to select the map. We're going to expand this menu later so you can sort by different maps and sizes and select other options like weather or season. For now though, we just have a basic list of maps, all of which are brand new. Before I continue, I'll do a quick montage of these new maps. Sedan is one of my personal favorites, especially with our new post-processing effects, so I'll be showing that one off in more depth today. A new feature we've just added is deployment zones. You can now decide on where your troops are going to start off in the battle, and for historical maps like Sedan, you'll notice more asymmetric deployment. As the French here, I'm limited to just the city of Sedan and need to try to quickly prevent the enemy from utilizing the high ground. Last time you saw the game, we were using placeholder sprites for every single infantry unit. Since then, we've developed our own unit designer, which we'll show off in more depth later on. This unit designer has allowed us to custom create every uniform of all of the infantry in the game. We've also made a change to the UI over the soldiers. You'll notice you no longer need to click on the UI to expand it. Now all of the information is always displayed to you, including new information like cover bonuses, road bonuses, and speed penalties. Now that I've been ending my turn, a few of you may have noticed that the shadows on the trees and buildings have been moving very slightly, and that's because we've implemented a fully dynamic time of day system. You can now fight from the morning all throughout the night now. In the final version of the game, we do plan on adding a feature wherein players are brought back to the deployment phase if their battle lasts for the entire day. So scenarios like a dynamic 3-day Gettysburg battle will be fully possible. The deployment phases will also change depending on how much ground you've taken the day before. Oh, I've almost forgot. We've moved our game board onto an actual table, the same model you guys saw in the trailer. It's something we're still working on though, so I'll let Sebastian talk more about our plans with it in the next diary. Before we exit out of this battle, I'd like to show you some new animations and visual changes we've made to combat. They're still a work in progress, so keep that in mind. I know a lot of you will also be wondering when AI is coming, and I'm happy to say that we're working on it right now and have made some pretty great progress that we'll talk about in late April. The first thing you'll notice about combat now is that damage pop-ups appear, which are fully animated, letting the player know exactly how much damage he dealt. The next thing you'll notice is that dead bodies now appear from the companies that are destroyed, and troops will run away as their companies are chewed apart. Once all 6 companies have taken damage, the regiment dissolves. Melee animations are also new. I'm now going to jump into our Antietam map briefly, just to show off the new changes with artillery. We're going to take some of the new Krupp mortars, which have a lot of range and also don't have their range blocked by obstructions. And speaking of obstructions, range obstructions are a new feature that we've recently implemented. Units are no longer able to fire through friendlies or through dense terrain like forests, but mortars can. Normally I have 5 range with these mortars, but the hill gives me 6. Now looking at this, I'm not sure if this map is fully balanced, but we'll be getting even bigger maps soon. Craters from artillery fire have also been recently added. The last thing I'll talk about today is that surprise that I mentioned at the start of this video. It's a quick peek at our new map editor. Players will gain access to this tool when the game releases, so you guys can design your own maps. Keep in mind this tool is still a work in progress, and I'll most likely be dedicating an entire dev diary to this topic in the future. For now, you can watch this time-lapse of me messing around on the map editor, and while you do that, you can also check out these YouTube channels who have been making content about Fire and Maneuver. If you want to be featured in our next development diary, make some content about the game and send it to us. Thanks.